COVID, when it struck hard. Tourism, not only in Kerala, everywhere. Kerala emerged as I would say, a breath of fresh air. Don't care for the tourists. Care for everything, everybody. The new normal that will now emerge make Kerala the greenest, the cleanest and the healthiest. Kochikari Kochi കാണുന്നു. Kerala seeing Kerala. ഞാൻ നോക്കുന്നത് മൂന്ന് സ്പേസസ് ആയിരുന്നു ഞാൻ കാണുന്നത്. BC before COVID, BC during COVID, PC post COVID. BC എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ കേരള സ്റ്റോറി ഫ്രം പോസ്റ്റ് ഇൻഡിപെൻഡൻസ് ടിൽ ദ ടൈം ദ കോവിഡ് സ്ട്രക്ക്. I think an extraordinary story of Kerala in the 70s and 80s. ഞാൻ ഹിന്ദി വാക്ക് പറയുമ്പോൾ ബിമാരു ആയിരുന്നു, ബിമാരു സ്റ്റേറ്റ്. From there,
very little tourism except Kovalam, not really much.
Because left governments and left governments which Kerala has had did not saw tourism as an embarrassment, capitalist, luxury and bourgeois. That was the attitude. During the previous government, there was a summit on there, which is called the Emerging Kerala Summit. And the Chief Minister's keynote address had identified two change agents for Kerala. One, the phenomenon of NRK, and the second, the modern tourism in Kerala. Both are unique. And what did NRK do? Sent in remittances. What did tourism do? Created entrepreneurs and jobs. If you look at tourism itself, India independence, at first we had what they say, the Golden Triangle, Delhi, Agra, Jaipur. From there we had the foreign enclave called Goa. Kerala emerged as I would say, a breath of fresh air. Modern India, modern society, village India, where the ordinary yet can be extraordinary, and the everyday is still magic. So this was a kind of tourism which is new and emerging. I would say it is the new type of traveler emerging, the alert independent traveler. He was a seeker of voyage of discovery. Instead of the traditional traveler previous to that or earlier to that would be somebody who is just only interested in holiday. This traveler is interested in land is coming to, the people, their lives, and so much more about institutions, democracy, and health, and all that came in matter of fact. Kerala, in this context, featured very extraordinarily well. So, I'm actually in 1978 father from giving up a career as a chartered accountant in Mumbai, I came back to Kochi. At that time, I recall the number of tourists who came to Kerala, foreign tourists, 20,000 tourists are the numbers which came. And our share in international arrivals to India was 1.3%. Over the next 30 years, we went from 1.3% to 22%. From a Bimaru state to a front performing state. Our earnings from tourism became almost 11 or 12% of our economy, of our GDP. And tourism became a significant part, a change maker for Kerala, as well as a driver of the economy. This was a big transition that took place. All this pre-COVID time. COVID, when it struck hard. Tourism, not only in Kerala, everywhere. In the globe, in India and in Kerala. Kerala especially so, and it hurt badly for two reasons. One, Kerala's dependence on tourism. Two, Kerala's dependence on international tourism. So, and now as we see it, with the arrival of the COVID, international tourism is at zero. ഇപ്പോൾ അടുത്ത 2 കൊല്ലം 2021, 2022, we don't see tourism arrival. So we had to now find a new way of post-COVID. What will that be? It will definitely be have to be domestic from other states, and even it will have definitely, even before that, it will have to be local. In other words, local കൊച്ചിക്കാർ കൊച്ചി കാണുന്നു, Kerala seeing Kerala. So I see that local tourism can be a very powerful element. Kochi's properties are suffering because business travel illa. But local travelers, they are going to Coconut Lagoon in Kumaragam, Marari Beach in Mararikulam, Spice Village in Thekali. There's good numbers coming in. And what unique feature is that they're traveling by road in their own private vehicle, not only weekend. I think they will choose whatever time they can, we will get the road. They were at first, after being locked up for months, Portha became, so probably, അവരുടെ പണം ചെലവാക്കാനായിട്ട് ഈ വഴി ഇല്ലായിരുന്നു. So they wanted the best. They wanted the deluxe suites. So this seemed to be a trend, and Kerala travelers, local in other states, Bangalore, udaharanamayitte North Kerala, our Wayanad will benefit hugely from Bangalore traffic. Bangalore has a high population who are working, very highly paid, young, he and she earning substantial salaries, and they were and their attitude towards holiday was different. They would like to be adventurous, they would like to experiential travelers they became. And Kerala was, North Kerala especially, because driving distance of 5 to 6 hours was within the reach. Similarly happened in Delhi too. Delhi, large market, went to Rajasthan, to the Himalayan ranges, 5 to 6 hours travel. And my hotelier friends in Delhi, in that region say that this year, COVID time, they've seen businesses never before. The highest ever.
Domestic travelers.
All domestic travelers.
Yes,
December, January, we were actually at fairly normal occupancy.
Okay.
But that is
കഴിഞ്ഞ
year
വർഷത്തെ പോലെ.
end. Year end. But otherwise, I would say that if we can achieve 20% of pre-COVID times, we are
സർവൈവൽ
survive. നമ്മൾ വേറെ ഒന്നും നോക്കുന്നില്ല, ശമ്പളം കൊടുക്കാനുള്ള പൈസ ഉണ്ടാക്കാൻ പറ്റും.
മെയിൻറ്റെയിൻ ചെയ്യാനും
Property, current, electricity, power കൊടുക്കാൻ can we make our power. And best would be if we can manage to pay same in capital കൊടുക്കാനായിട്ട് പറ്റുവാണെങ്കിൽ it will be.
പക്ഷേ 20% അല്ല, ഇപ്പോൾ 80% കിട്ടുന്നുണ്ട് അല്ലേ?
80% കിട്ടുന്നുണ്ട്. I don't think. December, January.
Pre-COVID timesന്റെ
December, January കിട്ടുന്നുണ്ട്. Now it is still struggling.
കുറയുന്നു.
There's a big struggle in tourism, and the crisis of solvency. How many people will survive? I really wonder. And the government, Sarkar's, I think the 10th or this year, when in the expectation that we must somehow put our best act together, despite all the difficulties we had, all hotels in Kerala, I believe there are 619 hotels are there, bar hotels. All of them renewed the bar license. I applied to renewal bar license, paying 32 lakhs per annum. But when the bar to be reopened from 1st of April till 31st March 2021. But from 1st of April to 10th of December, the bars are not permitted to be open.
Yeah.
So we are hoping that at least that relief will be given by the government, or refunding that proportional amount for the time which we could not open. Because certainly there is a big crisis of solvency, crisis of liquidity. Wages support, our salaries, many people, we only pay a percentage of salaries. We are telling our people, go home on leave without pay. And numbers of people actually working are only about 40% of normal number as a matter of survival. One outbound tourism and inbound tourism. The positive side of it is India received 11 million foreign tourists. Our illandai. India sent out 22 million Indians who went on foreign holidays. Avarum illandai.
ഇല്ല.
So therefore, the 22 million who went out traveled within India to make the holiday. So what we lost inbound, we gained by domestic travel, who had to remain in India itself. This is our survival. കോവിഡ് വരുന്ന മുമ്പ് തന്നെ ഒറിജിനലി നമ്മുടെ ആയുർവേദത്തിൽ 2 സ്ഥാപനങ്ങളുണ്ട്. കവറി കോവിലകം, കവറി രസായനം. 95% of our customers were foreigners. Now we cannot have foreigners. Now, the positive news is, I believe the next week onwards, medical visas will now be issued. But so domestic, local Indian travelers will come. I don't see many നാട്ടുകാർ ആയുർവേദത്തിൽ നമ്മുടെ പോലെ സ്ഥാപനങ്ങൾ ഇതിലൊന്നും കാണുന്നില്ല. But from Delhi and Bombay and from Bangalore, there people are coming for that. So, but at the same time, Prakriti Chikitsa, lot of Kochikaram, lot of people now putting health, and they all see that Ayurvedam, Prakriti Chikitsam are immunity builders. In current times, when we are awaiting the COVID vaccine, building immunity for survival. Kerala's biggest asset has been the homestead farm. That has been the largest, most widespread and most dispersed, and yet the most underutilized. That becoming a tourism asset for people in the city to go just 1 hour or half an hour, 1 hour, then you can go to a farm and stay in a farm. It's a big world of a difference. Distance under, safety of during COVID times, and then it is the outdoor and open, getting your feet touching the earth. So many features coming. This is an asset, I think, will be a discovery. Kerala's new discovery will be the farm will be a most prominent asset, which gains tremendously from agri-tourism. Krishi,
ഇസ്രായേലും ഉണ്ട്.
Israel, yes, as farm, but from tourism in the farm, food, cooking, farm activities is a top speciality of Italy. So how to make a farm, how to make a farm and convert a farm into enterprise, I keep saying, is the next Gulf boom. Farm as an enterprise, the next Gulf boom. And I'm trying to discover what we can grow new. I just discovered that the farmer cannot just produce and wait for his product to be sold. He'll have to convert it into value added, package it, brand it, retail it. അതാണ് ഞാനിപ്പോൾ ശ്രമിക്കുന്നത്. And I think it can be a direction for. This will go back to നമ്മുടെ പഴയ story. Red Cap Kerala green and foreign direct FDI did not come here. അതുകൊണ്ട് ഇവിടുത്തെ നാട്ടുകാർ തന്നെ entrepreneurs built small, built local. So indigenous and small became world class. So that in a way is a key ingredient of responsible tourism. So buying locally, employing locally, ideating locally. So that in that way we created a product which is uniquely Kerala. So that will be serving us enormously well. Responsible tourism is equal to a great place, creating a great place to live in. A great place to live in means don't care for the tourists, care for everybody. And in such a place, tourism also will find a great experience. Some of the things here, I think Kerala പണ്ട് പറഞ്ഞിരുന്നു that we are a faraway destination and we were difficult to access. Some of that problem has been somewhat solved by the 4 airports in Kerala. That served us well. But now, at the same time, we have a tremendous competitive disadvantage compared to our neighboring countries. The visa cost to come to India is extraordinarily high, and the visa regulations. Those are some changes that need to be taken place. So, what the government can do is, I think, in the post-COVID era, the new normal that will now emerge, make Kerala the greenest, the cleanest, and the healthiest. So, our investment into keeping our investment into waste management, our investment in keeping our backwaters clean, our investment in canal systems, all of that now become hugely important. Our heritage asset, Mattanjeri, for example, the Jewish community there, coming from pre-Christian era, Kerala's image as a ancient and yet traditional, at the same time modern, is a big asset. I don't think there are any city in India, any destination in India, as so well endowed as Kerala is. Thanks to the modern culture, thanks to more egalitarian society, thanks to the kind of poverty that we see in other parts of India is not here, and relatively a cleaner place for people to come and experience. CGH Earth, as it started as Casino Group Hotel, father now father and a closely held family concern. So one of the reasons we are looking at is we retained a merchant banker so as to see how we can, one, induct capital. For the reason that, two reasons. We realize, and our customers tell us, our trade partners that for the model that we have leadership locally, in the region, in the country, and even globally. And therefore the need to own our space, so which requires to be global, to be national. So that we have to have substantially more capital to come in. And number 2 is that we have to now become more professional in our management. So that we'll have the board does not become purely a family organization, but much more other interests coming, other owners coming in there. So that was the purpose of our appointing a merchant banker. To what extent we will have to sell our stake is not yet determined, but maybe it will be a minority, equal, or even a majority. We are not averse to it. So, but to grow, to create opportunities, to claim the opportunity that CGH represents. I think as a brand, as a model, we are ahead of our times. That opportunity we have to harness it by going out there.
But is it the right time to go for private equity in tourism sector?
ആ ചോദ്യം പലരും നമ്മൾ തന്നെ ചോദിക്കാറുണ്ട്. When is the right time? The answer we get is every time is right, every time is not right. So today, in times of calamity, usually one must be very careful. At the same time, the opportunities that arise during these times are extraordinary. So this is the balance that last couple of years this matter has been in the discussion, and so I personally would like to see ourselves going from a closely held family concern to a widely held publicly listed company, and having a significant role not only in Kerala, not only in India, but as a global player.